I'm not quite sure. We'll give it a minute, see if anyone's going to jump in here on the comments, the chat, see what's happening. As you're tuning in, I hope everyone's doing okay. Yeah, there we go. We're live in this thing. Sorry, I got this thing dangling around the backside over here. Oh shoot. What's up, y'all? How we doing? I'm gonna wait till I get some comments in here, and then I'm just gonna chat for a minute. Just want to check in, make sure everyone's doing okay. I know I haven't seen you guys for a couple days, so didn't want to miss an opportunity to say what's up. So while I'm waiting, how's everyone been? I had some folks talk to me today, say they were feeling pretty under the weather this week. It's too bad. But it's been an interesting week. A lot of moving. There we go. Okay. Okay, Cynthia, Summer, what's up, Danielle? We got some folks over on YouTube that are jumped in. Great. Good deal. Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, like I said a second ago, St. Pete, yeah, Jesse, I might take you up, for real, I remember you sent me some pictures. I might take you up on that, actually. So keep me posted if you know what's going on down in Florida. Yeah, so interesting week, guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's been interesting. So if you guys didn't see Saturday, or what was it, on Saturday? Monday, on the 30th. On the 30th. We had the 6-month, it was a 6-month anniversary of May 30th. And it was also the 21st anniversary of the WTO riots in Seattle. So I was out covering that for what I could while I was out there. And it was a trip. And we've got, and I'm going to post them up after I say hi. Just give you guys a quick hello. Kind of a breakdown. If you didn't watch it live, we kind of put together a montage for you to take a look at. We'll be posting that up on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. I believe we'll be having those popped up there. So I was in the process of moving today, and I'm still packing boxes and trying to get everything dialed in. And I keep coming across, it takes forever because I'm a super pack rat. But I also am like a nostalgia whore. Like I grab onto as much as I can and I really hold on. Like I've got old receipts from like a memorable dinner from like 5 years ago, things like that, that you can't even barely read it. It's just, pictures that I don't really remember what they were from, but I know that it kind of was something of significance. So, and then items too, like weird artifacts that I've gathered from like travels and interesting, like awesome gifts that I've gotten from people. Anyway, amongst those things, I found a quote, and it was something that it kind of was given to me through some dark times that I was going through, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as time goes by. But I went through a really, some really bleak times there, and had to work really hard to get myself to where I'm at. And there was people that just didn't believe that it was going to be possible. And one of the things someone said to me was, those who say it can't be done should get out of my way while I'm doing it. And that's a big deal to me. And it reminded me of a guy named Roger Bannister. And you guys may not remember this guy, but back in May 6th, 1954, he broke the 4-minute mile mark. And that wouldn't be a big deal to us today to hear that, because, thousands of people have done it. Up to this point, though, it was considered to be a physiological impossibility. And amongst that, the cardiologists were saying that like the human body couldn't actually perform a 4-minute mile, that your heart would explode. And Roger Bannister was amongst these mileists, these people that were pushing hard to, like, a different time. There was achievement parks, climbing mountains and running a 4-minute mile. These were things that people were celebrating and the news would cover because they were iconic moments at that time. Roger Bannister was a student at the time, well, he was a student, and also was someone that kind of fought the system. He always kind of pushed back. There's a term for it. I want to say it's like an iconolist or something along those lines. But he had this mentality and ideology that pushed him in the direction of trying to break down the structures of common belief and thought. And so he kept training, and he trained, and he got. It's funny because the British, like the British Post, I think was the news at the time, the big one. They revered his training as a lone wolf style of training, and they said that it was going to be incredibly ineffective. And that he would go nowhere with it. Which, if you guys remember me from when I first started, I was always had that lone wolf hoodie and that lone wolf shirt that I got from, shout out to the Drive clothing. It's just some catchy thing that I picked up way before I ever started doing live streams. But what got me was the people for decades leading up to that were trying to accomplish this feat, and there were people out there where they were pushing really hard and they just couldn't do it. And they had these track meets and things that were happening all around the world, and no one was able to accomplish this 4-minute mile. Leading up to that, they had said that the only scientists actually put it together. Said the only possible way that it would be done, the only possible way that anyone would be able to accomplish it, was through certain conditions. It had to be on like a clay track in 64-degree weather. Had all these stipulations that had to be in line in order to make that possible. Now, Roger Bannister, who was knighted there after, Sir Roger Bannister, was referred as kind of a change agent, which I thought was really cool. Just really pushed the parameters of people's personal belief. So, like as he trained, he had people, and this is important, I think. He had people around him that believed in what he was doing. While the lone wolf idea was there, he had to surround himself by people that filled him with positive energy and put into him the things that would help him accomplish this thing that no one thought was possible. And I know we all have people like that in our lives, but we also have the other side of it. People that, like, let's say you have you're smoking and you're like, hey, I'm stopping smoking, I'm done today. There's those people that are like, yeah, whatever, you've tried that before. And those are like the doubters and the kind of the white noise that'll try to take you away from these goals. And then there's other people that are like, hey, whatever it takes, I got you. What can I do to help? And you could fill in that smoking with anything, whatever you want to change in your life. And so Roger Bannister, I had to believe he had certain trainers that he kept with him, and he had certain people that I feel were a part of his camp that were helping him push his physical limits, also helping him to maintain a mental strength to get him through this time of training, to get him to this point where he was working hard on breaking this 4-minute mile. Like I said, this is back in 1954, so this is like over 65 years ago. Now, the things that happened leading up to it, you guys could check the history books on that. But it's said to me that it's kind of something that's said into me that even science, everybody believed that it wasn't possible. And then one day he did it, and it wasn't by much. It was a very thin margin. It was like 3 minutes, 59 seconds, and like 0.4 of a second. But he did it. He broke the 4-minute mile. And it was said that like all of his major, like, I guess, co-athletes, other people that were in the field, the milists that were trying to accomplish his goal, it was almost like for them, they breathed a sigh of relief because it was such a sought-after literal mile mark that for them, it was almost like it liberated them to finally believe that it was possible. What's wild is I want to say it was like 64 days. I don't know, so somewhere there. It was within a couple months. John Landry was the man. He broke that 4-minute mile mark as well. And within a year, I think 3 more people had broken the 4-minute mile mark. Now it's 65 years later, and thousands of people have done it. But up to the point where Roger Bannister decided to go ahead and persevere and push himself past the doubters and past the naysayers and past the disbelief. He set in himself a positive mental image of what he could accomplish, and he put in forward motion this understanding and belief that the only thing that stops us from doing what we want to do is us stopping ourselves. And we do that by allowing other people to program tracks in our mind. And we do that by allowing outside influence to slow us down, maybe through their own personal doubt, their insecurities, their fears. just, hurt. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just dealing with something. They don't want to see someone else shine for whatever reason. And I feel that moving in the direction that we're moving with these live streams and with everything else that's happening in my life, there's opportunities, right, to build a community, to reach out and be there for someone else. Like I said, I went through some really hard times, and there were people that were there for me that never gave up, that were steadfast in just keeping open arms. And I've recently had some people that have reached out to me, and it's powerful to know that the things we go through in life can make us or break us. But I know for me, it made for me a stronger human being, an empathetic human being, and someone that I feel is more receptive to individuals that are going through a lot of the things that I went through. And so it was really amazing to be able to answer that call and to be able to be a sounding board for someone that was in distress, that didn't really know what to do, in a situation that I would have been clueless on as well had I not gone through it. And I think that that's something that kind of ties into what I'm saying about beliefs. Like, I wouldn't have personally thought that I ever could have changed my life, from what I was going through. And people stuck by me, and they believed in me, and they helped prop up a positive reverberation in my mind of what I could and couldn't accomplish. And what I couldn't do was quit. And what I could do was take that next step and keep pushing in the right direction and take the next right step. And it got me to where I'm at today, and I'm incredibly proud of where I'm at and the person that I am and the open-mindedness that I've been able to accomplish and the places that I see myself going. And I think for all of us right now, excuse me, we have that opportunity with people to humanize the things that we've gone through and appreciate that through strong belief of our own personal willpower and the human accomplishments the human body's abilities, the mind that we have, the things that are in us innately. Like there's so much incredible power there and strength that we can tap into. And I think that it's important that we have people around us that'll buoy that up, that'll nurture that in our soul. And so I would hope that we spend time looking for opportunities to be that person for somebody. And I think that going through that servitude, it'll give us a better sense of personal accomplishment, and it'll give us a purpose. And I think a lot of people right now that I've seen and talked to are feeling pretty lost. There's a lot of I guess there's a lot of hurt. Like I said, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of people that really don't know what to do. The world is got a lot of strife. There's a lot of divide. We've got COVID, of course. Hasn't helped anybody other than make this radical divide from human connection, which is wildly important. I'm a hugger. You guys all know that. I'm a huge hugger. So not maybe everyone wasn't cool with it, but I try to hug as many people as possible. And it's funny when people now just kind of let it happen, but when you get that embrace, it's like a warm nostalgia of what things were before we hit this crisis, this epidemic. But I would hope that you reach out to people. I know there's people in my personal life that have come into center focus over the course of the last several months that have gone through a lot of really traumatic events, places, cities, communities. The obvious are places like Kenosha that have experienced trauma and strife and tragedy, and that's where the community, I feel like, has given me like a beautiful sense of the resilience and strength of healing, of really reaching out to people and helping them to believe that there is a better tomorrow than maybe the ones we've gone through are yesterdays. So I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try to keep pushing the message of positivity. I'm going to keep doing what I can to make a change, at least in myself, and hopefully through our community here and through this platform, we'll be able to do something that'll elicit change in the world around us, and if we can think locally and work on our communities that are around us, not just metaphysically, but literally in our own personal communities. If you see someone that's kind of dragging their feet down the sidewalk in front of your house, maybe reach out to them, let them know that you care and be there for them. I think that the world needs more of that. We need people to rehumanize the person behind the title. And it's real easy to give someone a title and just write them off, because it's easy to understand how to work with words and letters, you know. But when it comes down to a real organic being and what that means to people, what that means to the world, it's harder to handle, and it takes work and it takes effort. But it's a beautiful endeavor to reach out to somebody and to be a part of someone's life and to let them be a part of yours, and all the things that go along with building a relationship, you know, of any kind, friendships, you know, if you've got a lover or, you know, a partner of any kind, or best friends or family, whatever it might be, like, those relationships are wildly important, and it's something we need to continually work on. But we need to humanize people, you know, take the stigma out of a political, you know, ballot, and you know, or a religious view, or a sexual orientation, whatever, or gender, race, whatever it might be. Stop dehumanizing the people underneath a title so that we can better process it internally, but open ourselves up to really connecting with those people, those situations and those places, and allow them to make a change in your life. You know, these are just the thoughts of one guy, you know, that's kind of been around my own block, you know, a couple times, and experienced the life that I've experienced. But I think that we've all got our stories, right? We've all got our past. We've all got the things we've gone through. And I hope that we can celebrate the person you are today as having accomplished overcoming and enduring is the word I'm looking for there. And the person that was strong enough to go through that for you, you know, that other part of your body and your soul and your mind that was able to push through and strive on to get you to where you're at today. And then the question you got to ask yourself is, if I were to die today, what would they say at my funeral, right? You know, and if you don't like what they're going to say, if you don't like what's going to be written on that tombstone, change it. You know, make a change. Do something today that's going to make an impact. That's going to make a difference, and that's going to make you feel comfortable looking down from that, you know, that hovering standpoint of pre-bright light white. You know, the transfer. To see people smiling and knowing that you lived that good life, you know, that you lived a life of substance, of character, of, you know, of hard work, that you were human and you connected with other humans, and you were able to help, at least in some way, of whatever it might be, the people around you. So, and I don't have all the answers at all. Like I barely have. And the only answers I do have are answers to questions that I'm sure no one would even ask. So, but I know that, but I do know that my dad, God rest his soul, you know, taught me how to love, and loved his children, and loved the human connection, and that's something that he instilled in all of his children, and I think that all of my siblings and I can agree that, like, those are the things that we need to drive forward with. Are, you know, the guiding factors in our life are, you know, moral and ethic and character, and, you know, the things that'll take us in the right direction. But not just that, they'll help the people around us be carried in the right direction as well. As parents, you know, that's a big deal too. I mean, setting up roadblocks is a tough one, but if we can guide our children, you know, through love, you know, understanding, patience, perseverance, you know, long suffering, you know, those are the things that we need to do. There's no quick fix to anything, you know, and so if you're at a point where we feel like we really need to make a change, like, let's appreciate that it may not happen tomorrow or the next day or next week or next year. 2021 might not be the resolution to 2020, you know. It could just be the next part, you know, and it might just be the 720 days of it all. And, you know, so I would hope that we push in the direction of appreciating that, like Roger Bannister, he wasn't just running a lap, you know. He had to make 4 incredibly grueling and, you know, preconceived, like, fatal 4 laps to break those markers in his life and in the world, and to re-establish parameters for belief. And so moving forward, I hope that we can all work on doing that same thing, you know, and pushing ourselves and opening ourselves up to change, and allowing some elasticity in our heart, in our soul, in our mind, you know, and becoming organic in our approach to people, and not trying to beat people down with our own beliefs, but have conversations of education, where we can kind of let people better know who we are and accept who they are, accept who you are too. Man, there's so many people that I've talked to that are just conflicted with who they are, what they feel with, the person that they are, and especially young people are dealing with a lot of things. And, learning to accept that we are as whatever our creator, whoever that might be that you believe in, made us, and we're meant to go through the things we've gone through to help nurture our soul. And I think to better be a keeper for our brothers and our sisters and our fellow humankind. So, just a quick message that I wanted to give you guys, based off of my, I'm moving, and like I said, I'm just finding all these little, I'm a big Post-it note guy. I put Post-it notes everywhere, and I keep finding these Post-it notes. Man, every day I need to read this, every day, and it's but I think we can be those moments for people. Reach out to somebody, give them a call, send them a text, just tell them you care, tell them you love them, tell them you're thinking about them, that you're there for them. You'd be amazed with how many times you'll send something like that out and you'll get an immediate response saying, thank you, I needed that. That's exactly what I needed. And moments like this, I felt impressed to talk to everybody today, and I've seen a lot of the comments, people are saying that maybe that's exactly what they needed to hear today, and people are going through a lot of hard times, and try to make an impact on someone's life, and someone just said, Michelle Motherway said, be a day maker to a stranger. I like that, and appreciate that we're all like this human family, and we can all work collectively to be a better people, right? And I'm afraid of some things. There's some things I'm afraid of, and one of the things that I'm afraid of is that we're gonna start these fights with people based off of political beliefs and based off of our anger towards someone for feeling a certain way, whatever that might be. And let's talk about politics directly. You're on the bus on your way to work, and I mentioned this before, going through your views and your beliefs, and you got someone you ride that bus with every day, and now you're fighting with that person because they believe something totally different than you as far as the politics are going, and you're arguing about who should be president. Fight. President's sworn in. Now you got 4 years of riding that same bus with that same person, but now you've caused all this conflict between the two of you, and now you've got to go through this mending phase. Well, hey man, it's my fault, or hey, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that. And I think that right now, those are the things we need to stop fighting on. You know what I mean? We need to appreciate that, there are some things, like someone said last night in the video you'll watch, when I was interviewing the security team from Capitol Hill, which is really cool. He said there's some things that we just can't, no matter what it is, it's human rights. That's something we can't disagree on, and that I think is 100%. And but beyond that, your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, who you choose to love or lay with, that's your choice. And it's a beautiful way to accept someone for who and what they are, and just appreciate that we don't have to agree on everything, guys. We don't have to look at things the same way. I celebrate the times when I find people that give me that aha moment and make me rethink what I'm, my views on things, because it only happens through conversation or observation, seeking things out, opening your eyes and looking at things a little different, and doing what we can to make a change. So, yeah, it's yeah. Either way, I really hope that we're able to find that opportunity, is what I'm hoping. I'm going to encourage everybody today to find that opportunity with a family member that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. If there's that conversation that you feel is going to be that hard conversation, typically that's exactly the one you need to have. The phone makes it easy, make a call and just talk to somebody. And if there's an apology the best way to heal and to get someone to come back into, I guess, into your understanding is, you know, lead with tenderness. And if it's an apology, man, like, you know what I mean? That's okay. I've apologized for a lot. And a lot of times, I mean, and some of the times it's for things I didn't really understand, but it doesn't take away from the fact that maybe what you've done or what you've said or how you've acted has affected someone in a negative way. And it's okay to be apologetic for that, and then to better understand why that is. And little things, like I used to be really ignorant to pronouns. And this is for, I'm sure a lot of people maybe feel the same way, but what happened with me was I had someone close to me that I made a very nonchalant comment. You know, I referred to them in the wrong pronoun, and they corrected me, and I kind of gave that, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think I said something ignorant like that, and it really emotionally affected them. And it was a younger person, and I got a real life education, and the just a small micro processing point for me, just 3 letters that I could have easily adjusted, but I was just being bullheaded about, and it was affecting someone emotionally that I love. And it hit me pretty hard, and I was like, man, if I could just change the way I say one word, it would stop someone from hurting when I speak about them, to them, and with them. And I started being more conscious of the fact that we may not understand everything, but we got to be open to the fact that it might affect somebody else, the things we do or how we act, and stay open to being malleable and changing, you know. But it's not a big deal, you know, to he, she, them, they, us, we. Doesn't matter, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter when it comes down to like making that change. It shouldn't be a problem with just, you know, if it helps someone feel better about themselves, it's not going to hurt you. Like, okay, you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of fighting though. You know what I mean? There's a lot of anger, like I said, and people are really just out there to like, man, I've seen a lot of people spitting venom, you know, even people that have like tried to come at me with just hostility and negativity and anger because I don't either like 100% like wave a banner for one side or the other, but just the fact that I'm here with you guys right now like makes people angry. And I wish them all the best, 100%, for anybody that feels that kind of like need to like spit venom and to try to tear people down. Like I hope they find healing in their life that'll better bring them to a place where they can sit comfortably in their own skin and reach out through love and through affection and try to help change the world. And that I think is a big deal right now, guys, is that we've lost the fact that like we're talking about all the hostility, the negativity, and all these broken things. You know, you hear that around us, and I know I'm referring to it right now, but we're not talking about what it's going to take to change it. We're not talking a lot about what we want to see as the next steps. You know, how we can make a change, how we can make an impact, what we can do differently to make this world better. And those are the things, the messages I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, like, I mean, even the meme world is just bogged down with like all the hate, like not even just hate, but all like, look how terrible 2020 was. But like, man, someone said something on a march the other day that I was covering, and he said 2020 and COVID and everything has been like, there has been like hidden blessings inside of that. And he was referring to the chance for people to like slow down, I think, in life, like reprogram their thoughts and he gave me a positive out of something like even like COVID. And, but like if we can start replacing that with like the opportunities, like, you know, if 2020 was so terrible, like look at how many opportunities we have to make 2021 so much better, you know, and all the things we can do to accomplish a better tomorrow if our yesterdays as of right now have been so like just treacherous and bogged down with like everything that we've gone through. We've all been going through it together, whether we choose to accept that or not. We've all gone through this together. And so, you know, looking at the opportunities for tomorrow, it shouldn't be too hard for us to say, hey, you know, like, what can I do to make my day better, you know, by helping make someone else's day better, you know, and work on that, you know, look at change, look at opportunities to like, you know, see the need for a change, and then let's talk about it. What can we do to make the change? You know, put it out there. Let the world see it. Let the world be a part of it and work on that. So, For me personally, I'm looking at doing what I can. I try to work with young people as much as possible. And there's some organizations you guys can reach out. The Big Brothers organization is incredible. There's schools that are great that need volunteers for at-risk students. I work a lot with inner city teens that are kind of foster home, foster placed children, and I tell you, it's incredibly rewarding. It's amazing to have those opportunities to like talk to people and be a part of these young lives and see where they're going, and to be a part of helping to kind of corral positivity. You know what I mean? And like Roger Bannister, who we started talking about, he was a change agent. They referred to him as an agent of change, and I think that we can be a part of doing that. So I get a shout out to all the school teachers and all the people in education, social workers, people that are working their butts off to help people. The essential workers and all these people that are out there grinding, and everyone in between. There's just so many people that are out there like putting themselves out on the line and that are doing what they can to help. So I really hope that we can all find a way to do that, and in our own world, in some way. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of reactionary situations out here right now. I think we're allowing ourselves to be forced into reactions, and if you're reacting to something, like, you have no control. And that's the sad part of what's going on, because if you slow down and step back, think about something that's making you feel the way you feel, and then respond, there's a difference there. There is a difference between reacting and responding. And a response, that's coming from a place of thought. Reaction is coming from a place of just raw emotion. When you get pushed, you push someone back. Sometimes you got to push back. I'm not going to argue that one, but it can get you in trouble, and that's where you got to be careful, because doesn't matter how much people push you. Like, sometimes the second you push back, that's when trouble will show up. So, and I've been through that. It's sad, but it's true. But in life, emotionally, I think that we have an opportunity to be responsive, and not just responsive in a way of like, in response to something that's happened or something that's been said or something that's been done to you, but responsive to the things that are happening in the world, and responsive to the things that you're seeing happen in other people's lives, and be a part of it. We're creeping up on Christmas, and I know there's going to be, it's not as cold out as it has been, well, at least in Seattle, over the course of the last couple of years. I'm sure it's plenty cold in plenty of places where people are tuning in from, but I would hope that if you've got extra blankets, these are little things that I've seen even just downtown just the other night. If you've got extra blankets, extra coats, extra warm clothes, find a place to donate and drop those off. If they're just taking up dust, sitting in a closet, sitting in a box, sitting in a bag, take the bag, take the box. If you haven't used it in a year and you haven't seen it, in a year or two, you're not going to miss it. Take it somewhere and drop it off. Find somebody that can benefit from, an extra pair of socks and a warm coat. I know yesterday I bagged up a bunch of stuff in the moving process, and I'm super excited to be able to donate it. Because I've had someone give me a coat before. Like, I've been in that place where I literally needed someone to put like something warm on my back, and that makes an impact. It makes a change. And it's hard, I know, with COVID to volunteer your services and to volunteer your time, but the world's kind of opening up to this information age. So I'm going to try to work on doing what I can to put up as many links as possible for, maybe being a, doing voluntary services for call-in banks, things along those lines. And I'm sure if any of you have any links, I would appreciate it if you would email me, cj@cjtv.live. That's cj@cjtv.live. And if the mods, if you'd please post that up there. Any links that you have to services where people can volunteer their time, or if they can donate, any donation locations. I know the Salvation Army is a big deal, but there are food kitchens, and there are more kind of like direct services. Out in Kenosha, I know they have that on Thursdays, Tuesdays, I think Saturdays as well, at the church there. And so find those places in your neighborhoods. Or maybe if you see someone in your neighborhood, you know what I mean, that you know is kind of going through it, you know, find a way to help, you know, reach out to them. Honestly, if you think about that moment too, that moment, if you see someone that's cold and in the elements, and you have an opportunity to put something on their back, a blanket or a coat to warm them and help make them more comfortable if they're suffering, you're not going to ask them who they vote for. You're not going to ask them what church they go to. You're not going to ask them what their pronoun is. You're not going to ask them if they are gay, straight, if they, you know, what kind of life they lived. You're just going to see someone, I would hope, in need, and you're going to be a part of helping them heal or be a part of giving them comfort. And it is not going to come down to like itemizing who they are and what they're all about before we provide that on a human level. And that's seriously on a base level. If we could all just work on that basic understanding that it doesn't have to be someone that rides in the car with us, so to speak. It just needs to be a human. You know what I mean? Let's be humans. Humanitarian efforts can be amazing. You know what I mean? No matter what they are. So, and yeah, this Christmas is going to be hard for a lot of people. But we can make it better. You know, we can make a change. We can be a part of that. And I know you guys, a lot of you are used to tuning in to seeing me follow riot rounds and, you know, shootings and mayhem and, you know, chaos. And I know that that's important to know where that's happening in the world and to keep an eye on that. But I hope we can celebrate things like these opportunities here for us to have an exchange and to look for things that we can do collectively to help each other out, you know, and you know, reach out to each other. You know, that's what this community is all about for me, guys. It's not just about, you know, dodging impact rounds and, you know, sucking tear gas. You know, it's about being a part. My mic's being an issue apparently. But it's about being a part of the, you know, the world we live in and doing something to make a difference. So, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. When I look down? Okay, well, let me turn the pickup down here real fast then. Sorry if it gets loud in the speakers. Is this better? Hopefully. I'm working on it. So, yeah, turn the volume down maybe, or turn on the closed captions, I don't know. Yeah, we're all in this together, whether we, you know, this life raft, you know, it's a raft of life, whether we choose the person sitting next to us or not, it's just what it is, you know what I mean? So, and I appreciate everyone here, and I say it, and I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to say it till you guys are tired of hearing it, but thank you so much for being a part of this community with me. Thank you for, you know, contributing your time, contributing your feedback, for being positive, for looking for something positive, for sharing the feed when those times come up. That helps a lot. For my supporters, thank you so much for jumping in on the supporter side. Those are the ways that I'll be able to continue to do this is, you know, through the opportunity to do it through contributions and things that have made it all possible through everybody here. So I'm gonna hit this button one more time. Oh, try not to knock everything over here. So I appreciate everybody that's here with me right now, and the ones that aren't, people that are, you know, spaced out throughout the country, and ones that aren't watching, the ones that don't want to watch unless there's something crazy happening. There's always going to be something crazy happening. So I don't think we have to worry about that coming up. December's not done yet, and then January is right around the corner. So we all have something like that to look forward to, if that's what you're looking to get you going. Jason, I look forward to meeting up with you. And thank you, Julia. I appreciate that. So yeah, and stay tuned. There's a lot coming up. Shannon, I see you. What I'm going to keep doing is trying to find as much studio time as possible. Like I said, there's plenty of people that it's been difficult, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Like this whole move process is trying to get everything situated and still trying to make my rounds has been difficult because I still have to try to find a way to set down and forward plan a story and bring people on that I can talk to that'll be educational for me and hopefully for you, and and continue to grow what we're doing here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to keep pushing, and we've got things lined up that I'm looking forward to, and I hope you guys know that it's not just going to be about fist fights and stabbings. We've got other stuff happening on the that's cooking right now, and I'm looking forward to being a part of bringing that out to you guys. And yeah, let's. But keep in mind, if you're on any one platform, if you're on Facebook, I do go live on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I go live on Facebook, and if you're on either of those, I do go live on Twitch. And I'll be trying to put more attention onto my Twitch platform, just so you guys know, and figure out how to be interactive there, because it's easier to work with that on Studio. So if you haven't come over to Twitch yet, I recommend jumping over and subbing in on the Twitch side. It's kind of fun and interactive. And if you are on Twitch, what's up? I appreciate y'all for for being a part of that wacky community. And yeah, there's multiple platforms, and then there's also you guys can bop on over to all the Instagrams that we got. We have IG, we got Twitter, and I haven't been able to update that as much as I'd like, but it's a lot of work to put that all together. But I'll be more diligent about giving you guys more content on the daily. And I'm staying in Washington for now, Lisa. I see what you're saying there, but I'm not moving out of Washington just yet. Ooh-wee. Gets dark and all the creepy sounds come out. This place that so I'll tell you guys that in a second. But yeah, the multiple platforms. You can also come over to D Live. Love the platform. All right, Sonia, I'll check it out. But there's if you bop over to my personal page, and I'll be updating on all of my platforms. But yeah, thank you, Veronica. Yeah, there's plenty of different locations where you can find, I think it's probably listed down below me here, all of my contact info. So, and then of course there's always CJ at cjtv.live. The website will be launching here pretty soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And merchandise, guys, we got some incredible merch that's getting put together. Big shout out to the Lettering Machine in Kenosha. I'm really excited about some of the stuff we got in the works right now. So keep your eyes peeled. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you right now. Yeah, if you would, if the best way you guys can be a part of what I'm doing right now is to just share the stream, like and follow, come over to YouTube. Like, follow, and then set up that notification so that you make sure to get updates as to when I go live and when I post videos, because we're working hard. Cindy out there in Kenosha is killing it. We got other people that are working on getting things put together, but definitely want to push forward to know that we've got edited videos that are coming out, and but I definitely am going to maintain that live stream, because like I said, it's when things are happening, I want to make sure to capture them live, and then give you guys as much content as possible. So what else can I tell you? Yeah, like, share the stream, come over to Twitch, join us over there as well. We'll be doing some just exclusive Twitch streams, and then of course some just to YouTube and some just to Facebook, and then I've got my supporters. To get notifications, Veronica, thank you. Type in the comments on Facebook, ! Notify. That's it. And boom, you'll get notifications. And I will definitely be going to Wyoming, Charlotte, yes. Still making plans. Facebook never notified me. Yeah, Sonia, I'm not sure what's going on with. Yeah, just hit that notify. You guys, exclamation point notify. And you should see like a yellow, I think it turns yellow on there. But maybe that'll give you, hopefully it'll give you notification. That's what it's supposed to do as to when I go live. And I'm going to start setting up an email list as well. So we'll be able to send out emails, and I'll get you guys all posted on that here very soon, okay? So, yep, inauguration's coming up. Eric, you are correct. There you go. I'm seeing all the notifies pop up now. That's good. So, I will, Charlotte, absolutely, you know. A lot happening. And again, contributions, you guys, are greatly appreciated. The Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that stuff is making any of the travel that I do possible. And if it's not something that seems feasible, again, it's all gratitude, and we're running on the grace of opportunity to operate. But if you can become a supporter, that'd be fantastic. You get that supporter badge, and then we're adding some things that are going to be specific to supporters. And I think it's $4.99 a month, and it's just a great way to help kind of push the wheels forward and help me kind of forecast and plan what I'm going to be able to do moving forward. So I appreciate that, and I'm gonna keep grinding, you know. Yeah, just keep hitting that notify. Make sure you get notifications. I'm gonna try to go live more often, and I know it's every couple days right now, but I definitely want to give you guys at least every day, if not every other day, something. And I'm going to be putting together more, I think, for me, motivational and more positive messaging that I can do on a daily that might help. It helps me get through the day. And if I can share that with you, then I would love to do that for you. So, yeah, so I've got a couple authors that I know that have written some incredibly positive and uplifting books that I'm hoping to get on and maybe do like a daily podcast type thing. And so there's some things that were in the workings right now. It would be amazing to see that finally come to fruition. And so, but it's an uncharted territory, you know. It's like Star Trek, you know, brave new territory, you know, seek out uncharted life, whatever it is. I can't remember how it goes, but my mom would kill me for saying that, so don't tell her I didn't know the intro to Star Trek, The Next Generation. It might even have been the old one too. I don't know. So there's no real roadmap to how we're going to get this done. But I'm going to keep making iterations and adding as much as I can, making as many changes as possible, and doing everything I can to bring new, diverse opportunities for this viewing that we have here on all these different platforms. So to boldly go where no one has gone before, right. But I do take cues from other people that are doing amazing things. So I appreciate everyone that's been in front of me that have been laying down foundation work on everything that I fall in love with. Even in the stream world, you know, I've taken cues from people that have done some really incredible things that have really helped me get to where I'm at. Guys like Andrew, Soul, some of these other streamers, like even working with Ian, you know, like just that are out there doing it, you know, and I really appreciate the hard work that everyone puts in. So it's, but we'll see where it goes. You know, there's still a lot of people that are doing different things too. You know, that are out here in the streets that are trying to do it their own way. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and keep in mind, guys. For me, it's all love. You know, like people may have views, they got their own opinions, they might have even ill will, whatever it might be, and people that maybe not even feel ill will, but just don't really know how to feel. But you know, it's all love for me. So, but I'm looking forward to some collaborations that we've got in the works right now, some really exciting stuff, and you know, being able to reach into new and diverse, you know, Star Trek situations, you know, uncharted territories. So seek out new life and new civilization. Dings came in. Dings Car Care just dropped it on us YouTube style. Yeah. Oh, big shout out, yeah, Omari as well, man. Like, didn't get a chance to call him back, but great dude. If you guys don't know about Converge Media, right here in Seattle, incredible guy. Omari Salisbury has been, I mean, the guy has traveled the world. He's brought broadcasting to places through Africa. Just a huge inspiration for me. Been to someone that even, and at first, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know much about him. Until my partner at the time kind of told me, a lot about Omari. And then the more I looked into him, like, man, just really fell in love with what he's doing. And he's just pushing, and he reps for his community, and his platform is 100% like laser focused. And I think that's amazing. And he's a passionate dude. His whole team out there, they all work super hard. And you see them out in the streets hustling, getting it done. And they're just a good group of people. So, yeah, that being said, like I said, big shout out to Omari and everyone over at the Converge crew. Good peeps. So, yeah, I got to go pack more boxes, guys. So it's sad but true that these sessions can't last all night. But I've got to keep on keeping on, and man, I gotta tell you, it sucks packing when you don't have it all dialed in as to where you're gonna go. Because like everything right now is gonna be kind of in storage or limbo for a minute, because I'm gonna be doing a little bit of travel here coming up. So I kind of am like in between, It's a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life, new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has come. At James T. Kirk, man, I'll tell you what. Robert, you had to watch the feeds more to understand what's going on there. That's just what's out in the streets, you know what I mean? And you film where you can without having to worry about getting stabbed or hit with a brick in the face. So, and like I said earlier, the Seattle protest scene has changed a lot, and the streamers that are, in the way they allow streamers, kind of like the way that they feel comfortable with having streamers, where they want you to be able to film from. So just operate through the rules of engagement as best I can to maintain my own safety and to get the best coverage I can possibly get. So 4 hours, yeah. Need more 14-hour streams. Miss those days. Yeah, Chuck, the 14-hour streams, I'm gonna be working on them. They're hard. Every stream, like even just coming out here to do this, like I wanted to show you guys this place, but the sun started setting on me. So I was thinking a lot about setting goals and maintaining a vision. I'm a big vision board guy. Like I like to have everything in front of me that I can see, like what I want to accomplish and where I want to go with things, and maintain, forward thinking and positive inspiration. And there's this mansion that's kind of by my house. And it's in this big park, it's Merrymore Park. I've mentioned it before. It's a huge dog park. It was a big, like 60-acre dog park, and it's right on the slough. It's at the end of a lake. But this house is like the original homestead here, and it's beautiful. And it's like a Frank Lloyd Wright style house. And I've always been in love with this place. Like it's just gorgeous. They have events here, weddings, things like that. But someone used to live here, and I love it. And it's one of these things that I try to think about moving forward. I try to project yourself into a place of a positive tomorrow. And I think that like this place for me has always been one of those icon places where I'm like, all right, someday, and you got to keep pushing and maintain, believe. And just like Sir Roger Bannister, breaking that 4-minute mile, see how it's tying all the way back in, swoosh. That's, when you can accomplish great things. So, less the spooky sounds, man. So real fast, one time my dog and I were walking through here, and we left the door to the basement open at night, and it was super pitch black out here. These lights weren't on. I had the light on my phone. Going into the basement of this house, which is pretty vast, it goes all the way back, but it's creepy. Like you have to crawl down under ductwork and through these little, it's old place, these little passageways, and he just blasts off, takes off, right? Which is funny because my dog's a huge sissy. Don't tell him I told you guys that, but he's a real big sissy. And so I'm chasing him around. I could hear his collar with my phone, the light on my phone. And we'd been out kind of hanging out, my cousin and his girlfriend, who refused to go down there with me. So taking pictures for them with my phone and just having a laugh, recording stuff. Well, I didn't realize I had like no battery life left. And so I get all the way to the very back of the basement of this house, in the middle of like the underbelly of this big ass house. And my phone dies. Pitch black, like pitch black. And all I could hear is like a little rattle of Jitz's like caller from like, you know, some distant place. Like it was at that point where I had to like feel the ceiling and the walls to get my way out. And I'm not gonna lie, terrifying, full on terrifying. So I'll probably not have that situation when I have my house, my dream house. I'm not gonna have a spooky freaking haunted basement where it's just a storage of like bones and souls that are unsettled. Tell you what, not okay. Yeah, Jits right now. So he's staying right now where I'm going to be moving while I'm in the process of doing the move. I just don't want it to be so chaotic for him with me packing boxes, because he's a real emo little fella, you know, very empathic dog. So that poor guy, like, you know, he feels everything, and I don't want him to be super stressed out while I'm packing boxes and moving around all of his stuff. So I got him set up where I'm going, and so it's a good situation, which is great. Good dude, good little guy, little jitsy boy. I'm glad that people know him. You know, it's great that everyone asks about him, because he's a big deal. So I'm staying here in Seattle area, South Seattle is where I'm going to be going. I just got to reduce my overhead. It's just way too high. Anyone that knows this area, you know how expensive it is to be out here, and it's just too much for me to maintain what I'm doing. I have to go kind of back to that like garage mentality, and you know, reduce my overhead so that I can keep operating. So, but no, I'm staying right here in the Seattle area, in Washington. There was a lot of talk about Kenosha, but it's just not feasible for the wintertime. But I'll definitely be coming out to Kenosha and spending time visiting. I'll tell you the one perk about the stupid COVID is that airfare is pretty wicked cheap. So, yeah, just got to be cautious, you know, maintain your distance and wear your mask and your gloves and keep a lot of Purell and, you know, travel like that. I think that I've covered most of everything I wanted to cover tonight. And, yeah, hopefully I've answered the questions that people might have. But, again, for everyone across all three platforms, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Just a quick, like I said, I was just checking in. Supernatural Investigation Crew on Facebook. Sick in the Shadows. Jason. Absolutely. Jason, if you would please send me an email about the Paranormal Investigation Crew, CJ at cjtv.live. Then again, if you guys have any ideas or thoughts about what you'd like to see covered, please email me, CJ at cjtv.live. I try to check my email as much as possible. And you know, if there's things that you feel would be not just relevant, but entertaining, I'm into it. You know, there's, as we get things settled, I'm going to have, you know, 7 days a week. You know, hopefully I'll be able to take a day off here and there, but to create content and to cover things that are happening. So yeah, touch base with me, and I'll definitely try to hit you back. Like my friend Letitia, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, you know, reaching out and being open to being a part of helping things move forward. Thank you. Jennifer, cornfields by your house. It's cornfields, man. Terrifying. Yeah, Chuck, I mean, it sucks because I got boxes everywhere, and I just don't why is packing got to be such a pain? Like trying to figure out where and how to pack things. Like a side, okay, here, help me out here. Where do you pack a desk lamp? You know, it's got a little, you know, lampshade. It's about yay big, you know, about 1.5 feet tall, but it's breakable, right? So where do you put that? Do you get a big box and then pad that with, you know, towels, and then put in, you know, like you know, some candles in a pair of boots? Like how do you, it's just, I'm a garbage bag king. So I've got all my clothes like garbage bagged, and I'm like, all right, cool. Marker on the bag, good to go. It's ridiculous. So it's just kind of like, all right, like if I had like a moving truck parked out front, I could just take everything, maybe like put a lamp here, put this here, boop, 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 and then just walk it into the new place. But a banana box, yeah, I'm moving, Laura. Oh, if you're just tuning in, you'll have to watch this again. Yeah, I encourage anyone that's just tuning in, rewatch this feed. I think we had a good message today, and hopefully it was positive and uplifting enough that it might give everyone a, maybe a nudge in a positive direction for the day. Yeah, load up with bubble wrap. Just put it in the vehicle. Yeah, Evie, I hear you. Like normally that's what I would do. Is just like, all right, just whatever, just take it, throw it in a truck. But there's so much stuff I'm getting rid of right now, which is nice. It's actually been a pretty liberating thing to be when you move, because there are a lot of things you can get rid of. And like I said earlier, there was a lot of clothes, a lot of blankets, things that I was, that had been sitting in, boxes or in a closet that I hadn't even seen for a year and a half. So I'm going to be donating those downtown Seattle tomorrow. But an RV would be great. I'm going to work on that. I'm working on getting an RV. Might have to do another fundraiser for that one. But an RV would be amazing. If anyone knows who has a good, reliable RV and they're looking to sell, let me know. CJ at cjtv.live. Hit me up. That would be fantastic. Don't bubble wrap my dog. I won't, Sandy, I promise. I won't. Man, my little beast, man, he just doesn't let me go anywhere. He sits on my lap the entire time, so I can't go anywhere with him. So a box can hold my little jitsy boy. But yeah. So, but hopefully by the end of this weekend, I will be fully moved. That's the plan. So let's see how that works out. Then I'll be setting a studio up at the other place, and possibly working with my buddy John on getting some studio space in downtown Seattle, where we can kind of collab on that one. Again, it comes down to being able to afford it. And then hopefully we'll be able to have a more centralized spot with kind of like a team effort there for some of the work that my guy John at Straight Up LLC, you guys want to go check him out. If you have any security needs, my guy John downtown in Seattle here, Straight Up LLC. I say Straight Up LLC just because Straight Up Security, but Straight Up LLC is an easy way to go about it. But yeah, for any personal security needs and or business needs in the Seattle area, Oregon as well, I believe he's down in Oregon, Washington and Oregon, hit him up. On that note, I have to go pack. I got to eat some dinner. I encourage everyone to do the same. If you're on the East Coast right now, I'm not sure what time it is, but it's got to be, maybe bedtime for some people. But Midwest, everyone on all the time zones, I love you guys. And again, I appreciate you being a part of this community with me, for hanging out for the last hour and just kind of hearing what I have to say. And hopefully, like I said, we'll have those take advantage of moments to impact someone's life in a positive way. Even if it's just reaching out to someone you haven't talked to in a while and just telling them that you're thinking about them. It doesn't take much to send a text, and you can make some real changes in someone's day. And it could be the thing they need to hear to really change them from going in a real bad way. So I love you all again, and I will talk to you very, very soon, okay? So stay tuned, and come on over to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I'll be posting the videos, some of the conversations I had, and kind of how things went down the other night in Seattle. So I appreciate y'all, and I will talk to you very soon. All right, have a great night.